Thank you.
Is that both the message in blue, the one that's not downloading, and the one that says also black X5?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloy. So if we can go back to the following page where you had added Chief George, and you've sent the address. There's between 1636 and then 1642, he sends a message, chopper airborne. That's to confirm that he's now deployed the helicopter.
That's correct, Commissioner, yes.
Now, when he did this, where were you at this point?
Myself?
Yes, you and Constable de Gouveia.
I was still on the highway, I think it's the N1, approaching Johannesburg, Commissioner.
And how far would you say you were from the address at that point? In minutes?
In minutes, I'd say between 15 and 20 minutes away, Commissioner.
Okay, and then if we can go back to your statement at page 4. At paragraph 12, this is after Chief George has now deployed the helicopter. You refer to other attempts that you had made to get assistance from elsewhere. Can you deal with that, please?
Thank you, Commissioner. Yes, I have many groups on my phone where it is other police members or security companies, crime combating WhatsApp groups, that I did request that if anyone is in that area, they can private message me, please, urgently.
Why did you feel the need to do that when you've now already have the assistance of Chief George?
Just someone on the ground that can, like I said, contain the scene till I can arrive and confirm myself.
Maybe if you can just help us, Captain Kruger. You get a instruction from Brigadier Mokoena to simply verify whether the Hawks are executing an operation at this address. That is really the extent of the request or the instruction. You then get hold of Chief George, which you say was at the suggestion of Brigadier Mokoena, but you also then go into these other operational chat groups of yours to try and get assistance. Why was there such a need, an urgent need, for this to be attended to when it seemed like it was just a simple instruction to go and verify whether there was an operation or not?
It would come down to the urgency that Brigadier Mokoena would phone me very often to find out how far I was. And once again, like to say, I said the urgency, and for me to be able to get there myself to give proper feedback from a DPCI member to my commander.
So these attempts that you made was really informed by the pressure or the urgency expressed by Brigadier Mokoena for you to attend to the scene?
That is correct, Commissioner.
Captain, what did you anticipate, or what did you expect you were going to find at this scene? Because in paragraph 12, with these messages where you're asking for assistance, it looks like, it reads like you're organizing quite widely, and you could have turned up with any number of people. And if you're sending out word like that and you're going to attract a lot of people, what did you anticipate is happening at the scene? What information did you have?
I understand the question. Thank you, Commissioner. You will never know on your way like that, and you're under pressure to get there and get all the answers that was required. But it could come anything down to because there's a lot of crimes happening where people say they are police. They open the gate, people get robbed, house robbery, then it's fake police. Or such, it would come down to people presuming to be police and they're not police, but they're using the police's name to extort money from somebody, or, like I said, house robbery. So that was quite urgent, yes, Commissioner.
guess what I'm trying to understand is you went to a scene, you had no idea what you're going to meet. You
That
didn't
is
know
correct.
what number of people were there. You don't know whether they are armed. Aren't those basic questions that you would have asked or should have asked of Brigadier Mokoena when he instructed you to go there?
No,
to
you're correct,
at least have an
Commissioner.
understanding of what scene are you going to be confronting.
You're correct, Commissioner, because you don't know how many people you would
Yes.
confront once you arrive, and is it criminals that you can have a shootout with or so forth?
And he didn't provide you with any of that information
No,
other than these
Commissioner.
2 vehicles that you will find there.
Not to say 2 vehicles, but it was 2 that were identified at the time of the information given, yes. But you also don't know how many vehicles you would find on arrival or so.
Yes. I know you don't know. I'm asking a different question, that you basically went to a scene, you were driving towards a scene and you were mobilizing people, and you had no information other than there's an operation by people who are claiming to be DPCI.
That is
You didn't
correct.
know what you're going to meet there, what you're going to walk into.
That is correct, Commissioner, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloy. If we can stay on page 8 of BK3, there is a voice note, a 14-second voice note at 16:44. Can you tell us what that voice note was?
The voice note on that specific day and time, Commissioner, I was telling the members that it seems to be a legitimate police operation. The feedback that I got from one of the groups that I requested someone to private me urgently.
Now, this feedback that you got, you say it was from one of the operational groups. Can you just elaborate on that? What kind of group is it, and what members are in this group that you got this information from?
It's crime groups where people of security companies, police, the different traffic departments would be on, Commissioner. And the persons that's sent me a message, I just can't remember, because after a while I started deleting of the many messages. The message came from one of the members who responded to my request on one of the groups.
And this would have been somebody from a private security company in that group,
That is correct, Commissioner.
who would presumably have been operating in the area near the house.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay.
It must have been people you trusted because you sought them out for assistance.
Yes, Commissioner.
Now you get the assistance you require, you get told that this is a legitimate police operation.
That is
Do
correct.
you
Commissioner.
not pause at that point and reflect?
I forwarded to the WhatsApp group in question, but like I say, to give proper feedback to my commander, I need still to arrive and confirm for myself who am I speaking to, a contact number or so forth, to give proper feedback, Commissioner.
But why do you still need a chopper airborne once you've been told by the security people you trust that the scene you are going to is a legitimate police operation?
I think the feedback came from both simultaneously or within a few minutes from each other, Commissioner.
Because it's only 2 minutes after Chief George told you that chopper airborne. I'm looking at paragraph 11 and 12 of your statement. At 16:42, Chief George says to you, chopper airborne. And then at 16:44, you get told that this is a legitimate police operation. So why do you not say to Chief George, you can back off now, I've been told that this is a legitimate police operation? Why do you still allow him to go to Sandhurst?
That would be Chief George's own decision, I think, also just to confirm and should we arrive, the backup we need at the moment.
He was called by you. How can it be his own decision? He's there to assist you.
No, I understand the question. No, I didn't think to tell Chief George to stand down at that time because they were already airborne. And for them it's just a minute or two to fly and the backup would be there, Commissioner.
Do you have any idea how this other person, possibly from a security companies would have established that this was a legitimate operation. I'm asking this in the context of what we have learned from other witnesses. I have not heard any interaction with the subs officers who were engaged in the takedown. Is it take or taking?
Takedown.
The takedown. I've not heard anything from them that they ever had any interaction with a person other than officers from the DPCI regarding the legitimacy of the operation. Who could this person have been, and how could they have established that the operation was legitimate? Do you have any idea?
That is a good question, Commissioner, because I would also like to know how do they know that if they never spoke to anybody or took a phone number or a name of someone in charge? So no, the question I understand and I respect it.
So, sorry, Captain, sorry to come back to this point. It looks like it's Chief George who's telling you this on page 9 of the annexures. Chief George says legal subs operation, counterintelligence task team appointed by General Kumalo, Lieutenant General Kumalo in charge. It's Chief George who's saying this.
That is correct, Commissioner.
And he's a police officer, so you're not talking to some security guard or security company that you don't know.
No, the message had come from Chief George, you're correct, Commissioner.
Yes. So at that point, why do you not say to him, there's no need for you to go there. You have confirmed that this is a legitimate police operation. You've identified the commander of the operation. Why is there still a need to go to the Sandhurst property?
Like I state again, for myself to get the name of the commander in charge and forward that information to my commander again, Commissioner.
The objective is different now. You are now going to simply get the name.
Yes.
Why do you not tell the other teams to back off? I've been told that this is a legitimate police operation. I will now go simply to get the details of the person in charge of the scene.
You are correct, Commissioner, yes. Like I was only 7 or 8 minutes at that time, I think, away from the scene, so I still proceeded anyway to turn around and go all the way back to Pretoria. Let me just stand off and I can get the correct information. Because Chief George, if he was in the helicopter, I don't know how would he have got the information of somebody on the ground. And yeah, I could give proper feedback to my commander.
My concern is not you still continuing to go there. I understood you to be saying you would still need to go to get the details of the person in charge there. My question is, why do you not tell the other teams to back off once you were made aware that this is a legitimate police operation?
I understand, yes, now. I don't know why I did not. I just said I'm still on my way to confirm. I don't know why. But I can say on my arrival, I did not find anybody standing there that I sent or I asked help from. Yes, Commissioner.
So the only downloads that we have, chat downloads that we have, are those between you and Brigadier Mokoena and those amongst the group members. We have no download from the other groups, because your last sentence of paragraph 12 says, at approximately 16:44, I received feedback from one of these groups, I do not recall which group, that the operation taking place at the address in Sandhurst was legitimate. So we have no downloads from other groups.
Commissioner, I forwarded it on page 8.
Oh.
On page 8, the last picture, it shows green from my forwarded message. It said forwarded. It's a legitimate police operation. I will send you Ops Commander's number. And it continues to page 9. That was sent to me from whoever I asked, that I just can't remember who. So the message I got, I forwarded it onto that group. Yes, Commissioner.
So that was from that group?
Yes,
Commissioner. Forwarded it from a chat from that group?
Yes, Commissioner.
Onto this group?
That is correct.
With General Klenki Mokoena and
That is correct, Commissioner.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
And just to follow up, in fact, Captain Sinjani, immediately thereafter, we are on page 9, gives you a thumbs up and says, okay, should we stand down? Because that's the normal attitude. Once you become aware that this is a legitimate police operation, people would say, why do we still need to go there? Should we stand down?
Yes.
How come the answer is not, yes, stand down, I will go there simply to verify who the person in charge of the scene is?
At that stage, I did not know how far Captain Sinjani was out from the given address, and myself was not far. So all I can think is it just needs one of our members to stand off there and gather the correct information and to give feedback, Commissioner.
Can we just go back to what happens after the voice note that you receive? And that is on page 8. So you receive the voice, you send the voice note saying that it's a legitimate operation. That is based on the information that you get from one of the operational WhatsApp groups.
That's correct.
Then Captain Sinjani says, I'm 20 kilometers away, but traffic is chock-a-block.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
You then forward a message at the message that you get from a group. Is it the same message that the same group as the message that you had gotten earlier that you then send the voice note in respect of?
Yes.
Okay. And so the person confirmed with you verbally, or was it in the WhatsApp group when you sent the voice note?
They sent this message to me privately.
Okay.
And I
So when
forwarded
you continue?
Then I forwarded it to the group.
So when you get the message that says it's a legitimate police operation, do you then first send the voice note? We're on page 8 at 1644. What informs the voice note? Is it the same message that you
Yes, because
forward
it's the
later?
same time. 1644 is the same time I sent the written message as well.
Okay. And if we then go to page 9, where we have the message from Chief George, is he also getting that information from the same WhatsApp group, the operational WhatsApp group that you're referring to, or is this a different source? Do you know?
I think that's a different source. I'm not sure.
Okay, because you say in your message, I will send you Ops Commander's number.
Yes.
That is from the person that's informing you.
Yes.
They'll send it. And then Chief George, about 7 minutes, 8 minutes later, sends the counterintelligence task team information. First he sends legal SAPS ops at 1649.
Yes.
And then he sends the 1652 message. You don't know where he got that information from?
No, Commissioner, I don't.
Okay. And you didn't inquire from him where he got that information from, because his information is more specific than what you had received?
Yes, not at the time I didn't know.
Now, Commissioner Kumalo had asked you why you didn't stand down at that point, and you said you needed to verify for yourself. What would have happened if you took the information that you received from your operational WhatsApp group that it was a legitimate operation, and you didn't go there and you find out that it wasn't a legitimate operation?
Yes, correct, because I was entrusted with the information to go to the address, and if I did not give the proper feedback, or it came back that I gave feedback that was incorrect, I would stand to be charged.
Well, did Brigadier Mokoena say anything to you? Because there's nothing from him in the WhatsApp messages, but did he say anything to you privately or contact you to confirm that it was a legitimate operation? Did you chat to him after you received this information?
I can't remember if I spoke to him in between, because if you see the time is spanning almost to when I stood off, and I was still following a GPS on the phone to get to the address, because I didn't know the address. So I don't know if I spoke to him, but to tell him that I was getting information that it is a legit, but the onus was on me, put on me to confirm it was a legit operation.
I think we can accept that when you get information from the private security company, perhaps you do still need to go and confirm it for yourself.
Yes.
But as Commissioner Kumalo says, once you get the information from Chief George, and it is very specific that it's a counterintelligence task team, they give the name of the general that's in charge. They even tell you who the lieutenant colonel is who's in charge. Why does that not indicate to you that perhaps, it's been confirmed, I don't need to go and confirm it for myself?
At that stage, the Chief George's confirmation, I would not know how he got it or how he knows these people. And given the fact that I was not far out, I still continued.
In fact, according to the timeline, based on what you say about your time of arrival, you were only about 8 minutes away at that stage.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Thank you, Chair. Now, then can we go to page 9 of BK3, which is also what Commissioner Kumalo had asked you about Captain Sinjani's response. His response is, should we stand down? Now, earlier on you said you didn't know how far he was, and that is what gave you also an indication that maybe you should still go ahead to confirm. But if you go earlier to the earlier message on page 8, at about 16:44, he does respond and say he's 20 kilometers away, but traffic is chock-a-block. So you did have a bit of an indication as to how far he was at that point. Were you closer to the address than what he was at that stage? Do you know?
I would believe so, Commissioner, because it was 16:44 that he says chock-a-block, and then at 16:54 I said I'm still on my way, and at 16:54 I sent my live location so the other members could see my live location where I was driving. So I think he was 10 minutes before, he was 20 k's away, so more or less he's 10 k's out, more or less I'm 8 k's out, I would think.
If he had said to you that he is 5 minutes away, what would your response have been?
That I would meet him at the scene to give him backup.
So you would have still gone to the scene?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Can you explain that to us? Because, he's a member of your team.
Because I don't know if on the day in question, was he driving alone, was he having a crew with him? Like it was discussed just now, if what to expect if it was not the real police and he stops alone there, he could be sabotaged, or they could, if it was not real police, they could attack him or something. So just to give him the necessary backup that he would need.
Perhaps if you could put it in context for us, because I think we're looking at it retrospectively. If you are at a scene or being told that there's a possibility that there's a bogus operation underway, what is it that you are worried about you will encounter when you get there that makes it so important for you to ensure that it's not just one person that's going out there?
You would look at the fact of the safety of the members. Like I said, you would drive into an ambush maybe. So the factor would be the safety of the members would be priority.
Okay, thank you. Can we then continue on page 9 after you send your location? There's then a message from Warrant Officer Nkosi, who you've saved as Malume.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay. Do you know, he says that he is 8 kilometers to the location. Were you closer to the location than he was?
That is correct. That is correct.
And he's sending that message at 5 minutes. What time did you arrive at the scene?
I sent a message on the same page 10. I sent a message, the one written in green, standing off Brigadier. So then I would already stood off.
So what does standing off Brig mean?
Mean arrived at the scene.
Oh, standing off means that you've arrived.
Yes, Commissioner.
Okay. And Captain Sinjani sends a message saying copied. What did you understand that to mean in response to you saying standing off?
He would have noted that I'm standing off. That's why he said copied.
And he would have still been on his way to the scene.
That is correct.
Okay. Can you then tell us what happens when you arrive at the scene?
When I arrived at the scene, at this stage I was on the phone, I think, with the brigadier, confirming to him on a video, on a phone call that I am arrived, and I will approach the said police at the moment. And
Sorry, Captain, if I can just interject, and if we can go to page 5 of your statement, just to orientate you, paragraph 16. My apologies. At paragraph 16 is when you start dealing with your arrival at the scene. You may proceed.
Okay, I arrived at the scene around 5 o'clock, and at 1700 hours 10 I confirmed my arrival in the chat by sending a message saying standing off brig, meaning that I have arrived. I was informing the brigadier that I have arrived at the scene.
And this is, when you say you were informing the brigadier, that's the message standing off brig.
That's correct.
You didn't call him telephonically and say to him that you've arrived, do you recall?
That is correct.
You did.
No, I would have maybe called him shortly afterwards too, but I had to first find out if it is police and that.
Okay, so tell us about what you observed when you arrived, and who from your team was there when you arrived.
When I arrived, it was only myself, Commissioner, and Constable De Gouveia that arrived with the Ford Focus that we were driving.
Had you seen any other Hawks members that were not part of the WhatsApp group that may have gotten there on their own?
No, I did not see any of them.
Okay, proceed.
And we were both dressed in civilian attire, Commissioner. I did, however, had a SAPS buff, a blue written SAPS, that I put on to identify myself as a SAPS member, and I had my diary in my hand, and I had my appointment certificate on hand.
Please repeat, what do you say you...
A buff, a mask that I put over my mouth.
And you said that it was branded, or it had an emblem. What was it?
SAPS, South African Police Services, with a star and the police.
Okay. Continue. So once you got there, what did you observe at the scene?
I observed vehicles standing in the road, and opposite where I stopped, I saw members or people standing in front of a gate of a premises, this same address that was given earlier.
And you said the gate was open.
The gate was open to the premises. That's correct, Commissioner.
Okay. And what did you do then?
I approached the members standing in front of the house. I could see they were wearing holsters and leg rigs and stuff.
And what did that signify to you?
That it could be policemen or security. They were armed, yes, Commissioner.
When you say they were armed, what do you mean?
On their leg rigs and the holsters, there was firearms, Commissioner.
Okay, and so you approached them?
Yes, Commissioner.
When you approached them, what identification, a physical identification, would they have seen that you are a SAPS member?
I was carrying my diary that is marked with the DPCI emblem. I had the marked SAPS buff on my face, and I was carrying my appointment certificate in my hand.
The buff that you speak of, did you deliberately put on the buff?
That is correct, yes, I did.
Because it was the only form of clothing identification.
That is correct.
Why did you do that?
So they would not misrepresent me, maybe mistake me for somebody else. And
Advocate, please finish there, sorry.
oh, okay. So they would not mistaken me for anybody else, that I was there to do anything else than I was there to do.
At this point, because it's only you and Digovea, are you now not worried about your safety? You approaching these people that you say
I was.
you don't know who they are? You
I was.
suspected that they may be impersonating police? It's a large group of them. There's just two of you. And you simply approach them without any difficulty.
I agree, Commissioner. Yes, it was a bit. I was a bit concerned at the time, and I walked in front. And myself, I carry my firearm rigs around my body on the waist belt. But I was walking, like I said, with the SAPS buff and the appointment certificate in my hand towards these members.
But how would that have helped you if these people were impersonating the police and it was a large group of them?
Yes,
there were many cars there and many people.
I understand, Commissioner, what you're asking. Yeah, it is difficult sometimes to sum up the people, but as I got closer, I could see the body language that this is police members, maybe.
And Captain, I'm asking these questions not to make you
Yes.
feel uncomfortable or not to suggest anything untoward. But we need to understand, because one of the allegations made against the Hawks is that they were interfering with a lawful police operation, and they were possibly doing so for the benefit of criminal syndicates. So it's important that we ask these questions and
No,
give
100%,
clarity.
yes. Commissioner, I understand. No, it is a difficult situation to be in at the moment. That split second or two that you must sum up, is this legit, or are they people are going to attack us? It is difficult, but you've got to use your years of experience that you built up and your trust that you have. As I got closer to the group, I did introduce myself, and I could see the body language drop a little bit. There was a bit of a feeling of uncertainty between them and us at the moment. But like I say, we have to use our own discretion at the time given to us. And I used it wisely, I think.
And it could have easily resulted in a shootout.
It could have.
The Hawks and the police.
It could have, but that's why I put the buff on immediately, and I walked with my diary. My diary is always marked, and my appointment certificate in my hand. Yeah, it is a difficult situation at the moment, at the given time. I do agree.
Did you at any stage show your identification card to the subs members? I'm asking this because we have heard evidence that neither side showed their identification cards.
I did to a member that was on the outside there, because he was the first one I interacted. I do not know, I did not take his name or his rank at the moment. He was dressed in civilian clothes. I gave him my appointment certificate, and how I know this, because when he turned it around, he said, "But you're still a warrant officer." But I was promoted 6 days before, so I have not upgraded my appointment certificate to reflect my captain rank at the moment, at the time.
So after that initial stage at which you produced your card, did you ever produce it again and show it to other police officers that you met for the first time?
Yes, I kept it in my hand with my diary, so I could show to the other police officers.
You say so that for you to show it to other, did you actually show it to other police officers?
Yes, Commissioner.
Captain, one assumes that when you approach this scene, now you're walking towards the gate, you have surveyed the place. You don't just walk blind. You
Yes.
take note of the people that are there. We've had evidence that some of the people who were in the operation, involved with the operation, were wearing bulletproof vests, which were marked SAPS. Do you recall seeing that?
I do not recall seeing that from the outside where I was. I do not recall seeing that.
And as you got to the gate and spoke to this official, you didn't notice
No, I did not
anyone
notice
in
at that
branded
stage.
SAPS uniform?
Not that I can remember, Commissioner. No.
Now, you have Chief George having told you it's a Lieutenant General Kumalo operation. Why would you still be uncertain as you approach? From what you've just explained now, why are you still uncertain whether these are legitimate police or it's a bogus operation when you've got one of your team members that you have pulled into the operation to be another eye in the operation? Why are you still uncertain?
It's just a feeling from the year's experience, and then Chief George gave the information from the helicopter. I was uncertain at the time. How did Chief George come upon this information that he shared to me? So, because on the ground I didn't meet anybody that I knew or that at that time. So, yeah, I still approached it with caution. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloy. As Commissioner Baloy says, at that stage, you already had information that it is a legitimate operation.
Correct.
Okay. And when the chair asked you whether you had shown your certificate to any other member, do you recall if you had shown it to Captain Wanda?
I must have shown it to Captain Wanda, yes.
When you say you must have, do you know if you actually did?
Yeah, I can remember because I had my diary in my hand and my appointment certificate. I would have showed it to him, yes.
Okay, but he didn't ask to see it?
No.
Okay. Can you tell us how it came up?
Before you do that, did you ask him to identify himself, and how did you ask?
I did ask him who he was, yes, Commissioner.
You didn't ask to see his card?
No, I did not.
Why? Because I assume that is the most legitimate way of you establishing. Why did you not ask that?
His approach to me at that time was calm, and he was not funny towards me. And I could see, yes, he is a policeman. It's difficult to explain it, but I could know he's a policeman.
So it is really on speaking to him at that point that you became satisfied that this is a legitimate police operation?
That is correct, Commissioner.
Is that because he's big and broad-shouldered?
No, Commissioner.
And how did it come about that you interacted with Captain Wanda?
I asked one of the members outside that if I could speak to someone in charge of the operation. I did not enter the premises, and neither did Constable de Gouveia that was with me, Commissioner.
When you say you didn't enter the premises, were the gates open?
The gates were open.
Okay. And Captain Wanda then approached you, and you say that his demeanor was calm.
That is correct.
How was your demeanor towards him?
At that stage, I was also calm, Commissioner. I was calm and collective.
Did I not see, I think towards the end of your statement, that you say they were not friendly and we were not friendly? Did I not see somewhere?
Commissioner, I think it was just on approaching the team and what I spoke about earlier, maybe we were thinking these people, who are they, and they thinking who are we. It's just that bit of misunderstanding from the onset.
Well, yeah, I can confirm that Captain Wanda did say that you were friendly towards him and he was friendly towards you.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me take you to